Sorry. So, right, let me introduce myself, because if you are new here, this is probably going to be a bit of a bit of a shock to the system. Obviously, those of you who are subscribers who are revisiting, hi, welcome back. Lovely to see you all again. You're looking fabulous today, might I say. And to anybody new here, I'm Lois. I am an empowerment manifestation coach and a full-time van lifer. So I have many playlists. Go and have a little look-see. If you're into van life stuff, you can look at that. If you're into, I do things basically about spirituality, about manifesting, and about empowerment, because ultimately my reason for doing this channel is to help free people from the fuckery of the mind, because I've gone through it myself. And basically, I'm my own guinea pig. I now have other people to also be guinea pigs. That's part of my coaching, that I've been experimenting on myself. So I don't just trawl the internet and regurgitate any old shit that I've picked up, which is what a lot of people on the internet do. And you'll know these people don't have a bloody clue what they're talking about, because they don't understand manifestation. So I'm here to help you understand what it truly is about, how to do it effectively, consciously, because here we're talking about being conscious manifestors, because believe it or not, we have all been unconsciously manifesting most, if not all, of our adult lives based on our childhood experiences. And I will come on to explain that in a bit. So this is part 3 of a 3-part series. If you haven't watched the other ones, I would really urge you to watch those. I will touch on those in this video, because this video is all about techniques when it comes to manifesting. Now, people have misconstrued techniques as part of manifesting, especially a lot of these just clueless people out there who don't understand what manifesting is. And you'll know, because they're the people who say, manifest a text in 5 minutes, get money in 24 hours while you sleep. I'm not saying it's impossible, because I have done it. I'm just saying that's all clickbait crap, and it's people that don't understand how it works, because manifesting is not magic. You don't just click your fingers and say, I want money, ta-da, and then it appears. It's not how it works. So I'm here to try and teach you a little bit and, give you the actual facts to it. But also sharing my experiences, because everything I have picked up along the way, I have researched, I've studied, I have practiced myself, and then I've passed it on to friends and family, and I've got them to try it too. And every single one of us has had 100% results. Every single one. And I'm probably coming up to 12 people now in just the last 6 to 8 months that have been using the same techniques, the same programs, the same methods that I've tried on myself, and they are all getting amazing results. So I know this shit works. And I wouldn't tell you it if I wasn't my own guinea pig and I didn't have the evidence to back it up. But it requires one key thing from you. It requires you to do the work on yourself and to have that dominant belief, because nobody else can change you apart from you. And the only way to change your reality is to change yourself. And by that, I mean your self-concept, your beliefs, your thoughts, your thinking about yourself and about your life and about everybody else, because the world is simply your reflection. What you think in here and how you think and feel about yourself in here will be reflected back to you. So if you're somebody who doesn't feel very lucky in love, I bet you're somebody who's had a lot of bad experiences in relationships. If you're somebody who doesn't feel lovable and respected, I guarantee you have a lot of experiences in your 3D where people don't treat you well. If you're somebody who has a belief that you're no good with money, I bet you've had experiences in your adult life where you've struggled with money. Now, a lot of people will think that the experiences they have are just confirming their beliefs. It's like, well, I knew they were going to cheat on me because that always happens, so that just proves that my thinking is right. What they don't realize is it's the other fucking way around. It is the fact that you constantly think and focus and believe that you don't deserve better, that you assume someone will hurt you and cheat on you, that has to be reflected back to you in your 3D. People and things can only reflect. And it's through your dominant thoughts and focused thinking, and also your subconscious beliefs and thinking, that make that real. So it's not the other way around. And I bet if you go back through your life, if you're questioning this, go back through your life, look at the experiences you've had as an adult, and look at the beliefs and the stories that you tell yourself and how you think and feel about yourself. Be brutally honest. What do you truly think and feel about yourself? Because I bet you deep down there are some things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not chosen, I always get rejected, I'm always abandoned, people leave me, people disrespect me, I'm terrible with money, I'm not lucky. That's why I'm here, to help guide you, because ultimately I want you to just live the best friggin' lives that you can, because I know it's possible and you deserve it. You deserve love, you deserve wealth, you deserve abundance and success and everything else you've ever dreamed of. You deserve it. I'm here to hopefully help you believe in that. And that's why this third video is gonna, maybe, if you've watched other videos about techniques or about manifesting, this is going to come from a slightly different angle, but this is the truth of what techniques were actually meant for. And believe it or not, you don't even fucking need techniques. Techniques was just brought about by people who didn't truly understand manifestation. Techniques are not actually a tool for manifesting. Techniques are a tool for your self-growth, your self-concept, and for your mind to get it right. They're not to get things. You don't use it, and you'll know because people just put on the internet clickbait things like manifest a specific person in 24 hours, manifest money while you sleep, get a text in 1 minute. It's all shit. Well, I mean, to be fair, I have done some of those things. I have manifested them. But that's only because I did the self-concept work using the techniques. I wasn't using initially in the beginning, believe me, I was like everybody else. I was there going, I'm not going to do this because I really want this money and I really want this person in my life. It never fucking worked because people are doing it wrong for the wrong reasons, the wrong intentions. If I'm perfectly honest with you, and I'm going to tell you the number one technique you need at the end of this video. But if I'm perfectly honest with you, all the other techniques really don't do much. Not when it comes to manifesting. But what they do is they help you. So let me explain. What kind of techniques are there? So we have journaling and scripting. This is the process of almost like diary writing, where you get things out of your mind and you put it down onto paper and you do it from the perspective of having the thing you already want. So you're wanting a house, you're wanting a car, you're wanting a holiday, you're wanting a specific person. You write it down as if you already have it. So you could effectively write out a story about you going on holiday to St. Lucia or something. And you write it out as if you were there. I used to do this, and it's a really good act, especially for people who maybe struggle with visualizing. Because and this is the secret to it all, right? Okay, so you have conscious thought where you focus, it's not like an unconscious thing that you're doing subliminally. This is a conscious thought of, I want to experience this thing. I want to experience wealth. I want to experience love. I want to experience going on holiday. So you want the experience. And what techniques do is help you get into the feeling state, the state of being, the state of having, the version of you who has it as opposed to the version of you who doesn't. So there are two versions of you, right? There's the version of you, the past version of you, who lived in lack and fear and doubt and insecurities and wasn't loved and wasn't chosen and was rejected and abandoned and whatever else went on. Then there's this new version of you that you're trying to step into, who has everything, who is abundant, who is loved, who is chosen, who is respected, who is cherished, who is wealthy, who is healthy. You have to detach from the old version of you, step into the new version of you. Now, as I explained in the other two videos, self-concept and embodiment helps you to get to that state of being. Techniques are the tools in order to change your self-concept and to embody the state of the new version of you. So journaling and scripting is a really good way of doing that, because it puts you in the feeling state, the state of being, the state of you, the version of you who has whatever it is you're desiring. And you can do that over and over again, or you can just do it once. And you can do it for all sorts of things. The other one is affirmations, and there's a lot of fucked up things out there. You get people saying, oh, affirm every 2 minutes, or do it like 12 times a day, or 1,000 affirmations in a minute. Robotic affirmations. Oh dear God, if anybody's ever tried robotic affirmations, it's just mind fuckery. It really is. Doesn't actually help when it comes to manifesting. I'm sure of this. Only because when you do affirmations, people do them to try and make themselves get the thing, and they do it to just make themselves feel better in the moment. So things like affirmations like, I am wealthy, I am rich, money comes to me, I am wealthy, I am loved, I am chosen, my specific person loves me, I have the most amazing family, I have the most amazing house, blah, 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 blah. They affirm that, and they feel okay while they're doing it. And then as soon as they stop affirming, they go straight back into their old mindset, their old thinking, their old beliefs of, but I'm not chosen, but I'm not good enough, but here I am in my reality, living in this shitty house, and I have this horrible partner, and I don't have a really good job, and I've got bills to pay. So this is why self-concept work is crucial, because you have to change states of being. These techniques help you do that. They help you shift from the person who does not feel loved and chosen to the person who does feel loved and chosen. But people are using techniques for the thing, not the state of being. Another type is subliminals. So subliminals and I love subliminals, because basically it's doing the work for you while you sleep. You just got to be careful of what you're listening to. So subliminal is something you will play at night while you're sleeping, and it will just soak into your subconscious mind, and it helps to kind of solidify the new thinking, the new thoughts, and it helps to solidify your new concept of self. The other one is visualizing, and this is actually one of the most important ones, and this is where I'm going to lead to when it comes to the number one foolproof technique when it comes to manifesting anything you want. Visualizing isn't for everyone. Surprisingly, there are some people out there who cannot visualize, they can't imagine, they can't picture things in their mind. I myself am excellent. I was always a daydreamer at school. And this is the thing that really pisses me off about the education system and about adults with children. If you have got young children and they are daydreaming and they are doing play and they are creating and they are, one day they're, they want to be Spider-Man. The next day they want to be like, I don't know, an astronaut. Let them. Encourage daydreaming. It was always beaten out of us as kids. Like, you're such a daydreamer. Stop staring out the window. Stop doing this. Daydreaming is important. It really is, because imagination is creation. Remember, everything that exists now was once a thought in someone's mind. Imagination is creation. Creation is what manifests. Because creation is all done. Everything you could ever desire is already a possibility. It's already done. Otherwise, you wouldn't want it. And your imagination, your ability to visualize and see things as real, that's manifesting. So being able to visualize is good. You can do it through meditation, or you can just picture it in your head. You basically play out scenarios. So you imagine yourself on the beach, drinking the cocktail, gorgeous sun, You imagine yourself in the new job. You imagine yourself driving the new car. You imagine yourself surrounded by money. You imagine your bank account and seeing the money going up and up and up. You imagine that beautiful partner having that loving relationship. You imagine it. You just visualize it. Now, it could be for 30 seconds. It could be for 3 hours. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you immerse yourself in it, that you really get into the state, not just of imagining, but feeling. And by feeling, we're not talking emotions. We're talking a state of being, the feeling, the embodiment of having it. Now, that does include emotions. For example, the way you look at it is, what does it mean to you to be wealthy. So if you're somebody who wants wealth, how would you feel? How would you think? How would you behave if you had all the wealth you'd ever desired right now? How would you show up? How would you go about your day? Who would you be? Would you still be doing the same things you're doing now if you were absolutely, like if you were a millionaire? Would you still be thinking the way you do now if you had millions of pounds in the bank? Would you go to the same places? Would you hang out with the same people? Would you talk to yourself the same way if you had millions of pounds? Now, potentially. But the key here is you wouldn't be feeling and perhaps behaving the same way, right? If you had that loving, fulfilling, committed relationship that you so desire, if you felt loved by a person and you just felt that feeling, you imagine being with that person. You imagine, going on holidays together. You imagine cuddled up on the sofa together watching movies. You imagine spooning together in bed. You imagine kissing them, making love, whatever. It's the feeling it creates. That's the embodiment part of it, where you immerse yourself into the feeling of what it's like to have it, not want it. So those are the main ones that come up. You've got the journaling and scripting, you've got the affirmations, you've got subliminals, and you've got visualizing. All of them are not to get the manifestation. They are to get you in the state of having it already. They are to help you with your self-concept, your concept of yourself. They are not, so a lot of people when they come to and this is the thing, it is hard, okay? When you are manifesting wealth and you've got endless credit cards, you've got debt, you're struggling, right? You feel like you're struggling to make ends meet. You're looking at your 3D, you're looking at your bank account, you've done your affirmations, you've done your visualizing, you've done your journaling, and then you look at 3D and go, well, this doesn't match what I just did 5 minutes ago. And that is where techniques fuck people up, because they are constantly in the state of looking for it. And what happens when you're looking for something? When you're looking for the evidence of it, you're telling yourself you don't have it, right? You're telling yourself that it's not here. You're believing it doesn't exist. Yet it does. It exists up here in your mind. Manifesting is bringing thought into things. It's bringing your imagination into reality. It is creation. Creation through the mind. It is through your state of being, your embodiment, the feeling. So the key part of what techniques are here to help you do is to reframe your thinking, reframe your self-concept, so that you can go from somebody who feels unlovable, unworthy, unchosen, lacks respect, isn't good with money, maybe feels a bit stupid, finds it hard to make friends, whatever stories you've told yourself, you're going to shift your state of being, your state of consciousness, your awareness away from those things into the version of you who feels the total opposite, where they feel loved, cherished, respected, where money comes easy, where success is easy, where they have everything they could ever want right now. And the techniques are there to help you do that, to shift states. You don't sit there for and you may have tried this. If you were to sit here right now and say, I am wealthy, I am loved, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, money comes to me easily, everything's happening, everything's fine, I have so much money, oh my God, I have so much money. All you're doing is just spouting shit out of your mouth. Unless you're truly believing it, unless you're truly embodying it, unless you are trusting it, feeling it as if it is now a reality, and you go about your day holding on to that dominant belief and feeling, then all you're going to do is repeat these affirmations and say this thing for 2 minutes of going, I am wealthy, I am loved, I am this. And the moment you stop, You're going to sink straight back into your old reality of, well, it's not here yet, is it? I still haven't seen someone. It's been a week now and no fucker's turned up to take me on a date. It's been a couple of days and I still don't see any money. You've shifted back into your old, I don't have it state. So the only way that techniques will truly work is when you start to embody them and believe them. And it's through consistent, persistent repetition that this happens. You can't just speak affirmations. You can't just journal and script. You can't just do subliminals and then think that you don't have to actually do the work elsewhere in your life. The techniques are helping you shift states of being. That means you have to actually do the work to consistently, persistently keep going on this new path, this new story, these new beliefs, this new version of you. And when you slip, which we all do, and you sometimes look at your reality and you go, oh, I really want it, but where's the money? I really need the money right now. You have to stop. You have to catch yourself in that moment and go, no, I am the version of me who has money. I know it's coming. You've got to get to almost that delusional state where you just know. You just know. And here's the key thing. You will know when your manifestation is coming because you are no longer looking for evidence of it or feeling the lack of it. This is the beauty of it. So if you are desiring a job, you've got your heart set on this job and you're doing all the techniques, right? You're visualizing yourself in the job. You're embodying the state of someone who has that job. Every day you're doing this, every morning, every noon, every night. You're going throughout your day, being the version of you in that job. Whether you are unemployed or whether in a different job, you are focusing your attention and your thought and your belief that job is yours, that you are already doing it. You even might say to yourself, oh my God, I'm so happy to be in that new job. I'm so happy. I mean, I've handed my notice in and I've done all this. You don't physically have to do it. You just imagine it. And then when you get to a point where you feel like, sure, it's done. It's done. You're not having to affirm all day long to believe it now. You've almost brainwashed yourself into this version of you who just knows that you have that job. It's in the bag. It's easy. It's just done. And lo and behold, once you go into that state of being of, yeah, I don't need it anymore because I just know I've got it. I just know it. I just know it. We've all had that feeling, right? Where you just knew something was going to happen, where you could just feel it in your gut. You feel it in your chest. You just know. You're like, I just know this is going to happen. I know it. Or even afterwards, you could say, I just knew that they were going to say that. I knew that was going to happen. That's your intuition. But it's also your faith. It's your belief. It's your trust in yourself. Believe it or not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people believe in their own abilities and their own sense of self because of their lack of worthiness, their lack of feeling loved, because of their past childhood. When you get into a much more confident, self-assured state, when your self-concept has been revised and elevated and moved from a state of negative to more positive, your self-belief becomes unquestionable. Your self-trust is faultless. Now, we all dip. I still do. I still have moments where I think, oh my God, yeah, this just won't happen because who's going to choose me? Who's going to want me? Because I have feelings of, rejection and abandonment. I feel like I had to, in my past, my old version of me believed that unless I was people pleasing, unless I made people happy, unless I did things for people, I wasn't lovable. That to be loved, I wasn't deserving of it. I had to earn love. Now, that in itself is probably very common amongst most people. But isn't that the most fucked up thing you've ever heard? When you think about the things that you tell yourself, it's so screwy. Nobody has to earn love. Nobody is undeserving of love. Nobody is unworthy of love. Certainly not you. Nobody is unworthy of wealth. Nobody is unworthy of health. Nobody is unworthy of success. Those are the things you tell yourself. So the techniques are to help you remove those limiting beliefs and those thoughts and those horrible stories that we've told ourselves our whole lives. Techniques shift you from that state of lack into the state of abundance of someone who has it, or at least knows it to be a reality. They know that they can have it. They know that it is possible. They know that it is coming. They know that it's for them. They know they can have it. And they start to embody that state. And this is where the most foolproof technique ever comes from. And Neville Goddard talked about this, where feeling is the secret. It's not really your emotions as such. Now, you will get emotions, obviously. If you're feeling and embodying the state of somebody who is loved, you're going to feel feelings of love. But what else comes with that? If you had the person of your dreams, if you were in the relationship of your dreams right now, how would you feel? You'd feel happy, content, satisfied, loved, adored, cherished. You'd feel joyful. You'd feel excited, you'd feel sexy, you'd feel confident. If you had the money that you so desired, you'd feel, again, confident, powerful, content, satisfied, strong. You'd maybe do things that you wouldn't have done before in your negative self-concept. You go to places, you do things, you speak to people, you behave in a very different way. So the one key technique that will work above everything else is belief. Belief. That's it. It is having that dominant belief, that trust that leads to the knowing. And the knowing is your sign that it's here. Now, everybody works on time like a linear thing, like there's today, tomorrow, and so on and so on. But time is not linear like that. Everything is now. It is your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, your knowing that speeds that process up. Now, what slows it down is when we're constantly looking and we're going, where is it? It's here now. It's here. And then we fall into that lack of trust, lack of belief, lack of knowing. And all of a sudden, all that work you've done, it doesn't go anywhere, but it just kind of slows down. It's all about momentum. So that is why the work you have to do on your self-concept and on your thoughts and your imagining, that's what the techniques are there to do, to keep you going, to keep the momentum going until you get into that absolute definitive place of belief, trust, and knowing, where it doesn't matter what you see in your 3D, because fuck the 3D. Remember, the 3D is just your reflection. It's reflecting your old beliefs. It's like a delay, almost like an echo. What you're seeing happening in your life right now is based on the thinking that you've had up until this moment. So changing your thoughts and your thinking and your beliefs right now is going to start changing your reality. You will see gradual things, you will see instant things, depending on how in depth you are with your new version of self, your new concept, your new beliefs and your new thoughts and your new feelings. And the stronger those get, the more you saturate yourself using these techniques, the more you saturate your mind with the new beliefs, the new positive thoughts, the new sense of self that you have, the new version of you who is abundant and wealthy and chosen and loved and secure and confident and sexy. The more you saturate that into your mind, the more the old shit gets pushed out. So when you see other people talking about techniques, just know the techniques are not really to get the thing. Because if you think about it, what we're all really chasing, it's not the thing itself. It's the feeling that it represents. So if you have that sporty car, why? Why do you want the sporty car? Why do you want the big house? Why do you want the money? Why do you want the loving relationship? Because you want to experience the feeling. And that's the secret. Because when you can feel it to be real, When you can walk around your day just feeling loved, feeling chosen, feeling rich, feeling abundant, feeling lucky, feeling successful, when you feel it deep inside you and you can embody that feeling, and you can embody it for longer and longer and longer. It might be for a few minutes, then a few hours, then a few days. Before you know it, it just becomes the new normal. You feel that way inside about yourself. You truly know, believe and trust that you are worthy of love, that you are chosen, that nobody disrespects you, that money comes easy, that health is just a natural given, that you can heal yourself, that you can attract whatever you want, because that is who you are. You attract what you are, not what you want. So when you embody that new state using the techniques, you will attract that. When you feel loved, you attract love. When you feel successful, you attract success. When you feel abundant, you attract abundance. But not in the sense of it coming to you, it's reflecting you. You have to imagine everything is like your mirror. So however you show up in the world, that's what's going to be reflected back. So if you want to change your world, if you want to change your reality right now, follow those 3 steps that I set out. My method of set it and let it. Self-concept, embodiment, techniques. And then the let part is to live, enjoy, and trust that it is done, because it already is. You wouldn't want it if it wasn't already a possibility. Let that sink in your mind. Whenever you have doubt, whenever you have fear, whenever you are questioning yourself, remind yourself, it couldn't exist if I didn't already desire it. Which means the fact that you desire something means it is a possibility. So all you have to do is embody and become the version of you who has it, to feel it as real, to know and trust that it is done, and then you allow the unfolding of life to happen. Don't fuck around with your 3D reality, because that is manipulation. When you're trying to force people and things to say and do what you want, because you believe things have to happen a certain way. You think that it has to go this way, this way, this way in order for you to get the job. You believe it has to go this way, this way, this way to get the money, or this way, this way, this way to have the relationship. Life happens in the most fucking amazing ways. You look back at life and you think to yourself, certain things that happened and you went, shit, I did not expect that to happen. Or, wow, I never saw that coming. Or, God, that happened in the most bizarre way. Let life unfold how it needs to unfold, because that's how manifesting becomes faster. When you don't fuck around and manipulate your 3D, you sit in trust and you know that it's done, and you allow things to unfold. And part of that is following your intuition and aligned action, because the world will move things in order to get you in alignment with it. So you will get those urges, those nudges to, speak to an old friend that you haven't spoken to for a while, to apply for that job, to register on that website, to maybe take up a new hobby, and that hobby leads to the person of your dreams. You may decide, actually, I'm going to go to that coffee shop today instead of that coffee shop. And you speak to someone who tells you there's a job, and then you go get the job. You decide, sod it, I'm just going to book the holiday. You book the holiday, you go away. You enter a competition and you win a prize, and it takes you off onto a whole brand new path towards success that you never ever in your tiny little mind could have ever fucking perceived as a possibility. Follow the intuitive nudges, follow the aligned actions, follow the things that feel good, follow your joy, go and live your fucking life. Imagine it's just like putting in an online order. You've chosen the thing, you've put it in your basket, you've clicked checkout, you've paid for the item, it says your order is complete, and it's gone off to be collected from the warehouse and delivered to your door. Do you sit there every day on your phone going, where is it? Where is it? I don't know where it is. Where's my fucking thing? Why isn't it here yet? No. You know you're going to get a notification telling you that your item is on its way. You don't sit inside your house on the doorstep going, where's the fucking delivery driver? Is he here yet? Is he here yet? You just fucking know it's going to turn up, right? So apply the same level of trust that you do in online shopping as you do with the rest of the desires that you have in life. It's not easy at the start. Trust me, it's not fucking easy. Which is why you have to change your self-concept first, embody it using techniques to get you there. And when you are in that state, you're going to see changes already as you start to shift your self-concept. But the more you embody that new version of you, the more your self-concept starts to grow and evolve and become this more positive version of you, you are going to see changes happen. You're going to see things manifest in wonderful, amazing ways. Life is going to change for you. And the best part of this is not you getting the things that you desire. It's the way you fucking feel about yourself. It's the way you are going to feel inside. No longer trapped, no longer pushed down, no longer insecure, no longer fearful. You're going to feel free. You're going to feel abundant. You're going to feel like the fucking richest, healthiest person on the planet. You're going to feel like the most loved person on the planet. You're going to walk around like your shit don't stink. And I don't mean in a prideful, egotistical way. You're just going to know that you're good. And that is so magnetic. When you radiate, it's not really confidence, but you just radiate this sense of you know who you are and you know your worth. How can reality ever be the same when you change? So that's the purpose of techniques. That is why they're there. That is how to use them. But ultimately, the only real technique you need is to imagine and to believe and to trust. If you can do that, practice that every day. Use the different techniques, use the affirmations, use the meditations, use the subliminals, use the scripting. Ultimately, keep imagining yourself being that version of you that has it. Keep imagining, playing out. Be a child, daydream, visualize it as if it is now, happening now, real now. You already live in that house. You imagine yourself driving that car. You imagine yourself with that person. You imagine yourself with that money in the bank account. Do that as your daily practice and keep becoming the best version of you. Keep working on your self-concept of shifting from old stories to new, from the old beliefs. Kill them off. Start identifying as the version of you who is loved, who is chosen, who is abundant, who is successful, who is wealthy, who is confident. Because that is who you deserve to be. And you can be that right now. So thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you'd like to work with me as a coach, details will be in the Dropbox below. You can visit my website. I will actually be putting together some short courses that people can use to help them with this whole topic that I've been talking about, as well as other things to do with empowerment. I'm going to put together some meditations. So if you like the idea of that, definitely put a comment about the kind of courses, the kind of things that you would like me to run. I will obviously announce that here on YouTube. And if you've got any other ideas for videos that you'd like me to share, then I will also do those. I've got a whole stack of things I need to do, but I'm always loving your comments and your input. So all the details will be below that you need. And go out there, start making the changes with yourself, change what's going on in here, and you are going to see. That's when you see the magic happen. So have a beautiful Friday, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Obviously, if you're watching this and it's not Friday, that won't make much sense. But anyway, have a lovely day. Look after yourselves. Be good. Sending you love. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.